Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Gonna be talking about a topic that's been making the rounds in the PC gaming community the last few days, and that is the fact that Nvidia has come out and said that the RTX 2080 is faster than the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And for some reason, I shouldn't say all, but there are a few people here and there, a few PC gamers that are super excited about this news and like surprised by this news. When I'm just thinking, you're damn right a 2080 should be faster than a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. I feel like a lot of the buzzwords that Sony and Microsoft have thrown around have really kind of encapsulated people and made them think that this PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are going to be these revolutionary consoles, and I'm sure they're going to be powerful consoles. However, I would definitely keep your expectations in line. Outside of that, also want to talk about the recent surge of The Witcher 3 with the Netflix series coming out and the game being on sale as a part of the winter sale. The game is seeing a significant player boost over on Steam, and I'll highlight that, give you guys some of my thoughts on the Witcher Netflix series as I have watched a little bit of it. And we'll also go over the free game that is available on the Epic Game Store right now. They've been giving away free games pretty consistently. However, this one is rather good, and I would definitely recommend you guys to take advantage of it. Alright, first up, let's talk about this GeForce RTX 2080 being faster than PS5 and Xbox Series X thing. During GTC China 2019, Nvidia said that its current-gen Turing-based GeForce RTX series graphics cards are more powerful than the next-gen Sony PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X consoles. And because of Nvidia mentioning this, some people are taken aback. They're like, wow, the RTX 2080 is that powerful. The PS5, maybe it won't be that powerful. Maybe the Series X won't be on par of a high-end gaming PC. And I have to ask you guys, if you think that way, if your expectation was at the level of the PS5 being comparable to a high-end gaming PC, and if you were in that camp, I just have to say, what the hell were you thinking? Sony is in the market of making a console that'll hopefully be $400. Now, yes, there are some things you have to take into account for. I'm not saying that the PlayStation 5 is going to be comparable to a gaming PC that you would get for $400. No, it would probably be quite a bit better than that. However, ultimately, they are trying to sell you a $400 box. How much do you think they could fit in a $400 box when you include the fact it's going to have an SSD, when you consider the fact that you have to account for all of these different components? And yes, maybe they'll sell the console at a loss, but the expectation can't be that they're selling every console at a considerable loss, because obviously that's not going to work out, and the expectation can't be that this console is going to be $600 or $700, because we saw how that turned out with the PlayStation 3. What you're going to get with the PlayStation 5, and this is just a guess that I imagine is going to turn out well, it's going to be a very powerful $400 box. But it's going to have its limitations even from day one. Even being relatively powerful, it's going to have limiters, just like the PlayStation 4 had. The PlayStation 4, even from the get-go, if you bought it day one, yes, it was a very impressive console, but you would be hard-pressed to find games that were running at 60 frames per second at 1080p. The high-end games like Killzone Shadowfall, they were still being played at a level that, yes, they looked really good, and yes, I'm sure the games are going to look much better and play better on the PS5, but those expectations still have to be there. I see a lot of people taking into account Sony saying that, oh, we're going to be able to run games at 8K, ray tracing, and just because of those two things, some people, now I shouldn't say all again, but some people are thinking that means, oh, a lot of games are going to be at 8K with ray tracing, and maybe we'll even get 60 FPS. Yeah, it's 2020, anything less than 60 FPS would be kind of crazy, and I would say for the majority of games, 4K 60 FPS is going to be really, really hard to do. Could they push it in some games? I'm sure, but I think you would be hard-pressed to find a game like God of War 2, let's say that's a game in development, which it probably is, it'd be running at 4K, 60 frames per second, and looking as good as the top-tier PC games maxed out, like let's say a Red Dead Redemption 2 maxed out, because that game is bringing high-end hardware to its knees. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of fancy work done to optimize these games for the PlayStation 5, but ultimately, you're going to only get so much out of a $400 box, unless they go higher end and they price it at $500, $600, $700, which I really think would be a bad idea. There's a reason why the PlayStation 4 was so successful, and I'll always say, why are you going to try to fix what isn't broken? You should really try to hit that $400 price point, and then you can make residual revenue through things like PlayStation Plus, which is another can of worms in its own right. But we're not going to talk about that at this point. Again, I imagine that PS5 and Xbox Series X are going to be very, very good platforms, and they're going to be very competent for the price that you're going to get them for, but again, I think you're just going to be a little bit hard-pressed if you're expecting, God forbid, 8K. The people that are thinking that they're going to get 8K next-generation games, I think you are absolutely out of your mind. Do you know how difficult it is to run 8K games on PC? And of course, it's not going to be a direct comparison all the time, but just think about how difficult it is to run 8K games on PC. quality, and you're trying to do that on the PlayStation 5, yes, it's been so many years since the PS4 was released, and it's gonna be considerably more powerful than even the Pro, but the Pro had heavy limitations, and the PS5 is gonna have limitations as well. Look, I wouldn't be all too surprised if the goal from their standpoint is to get games running at 4K 30 frames per second. Maybe they'll have an option where they'll lower the visuals a little bit, and that's how you're gonna get 60 FPS, or a more consistent frame rate, but I think if you're looking to play games at 4K and making them look as good as possible, you are in for a 30 FPS experience, and maybe that might even be a little bit of a stretch. So with that out of the way, let me talk about something else that is kind of exciting. The Witcher 3 has gotten a recent surge. Right now on Steam, there is north of 70,000 people in-game with The Witcher 3, which I find rather impressive. Obviously, the game is on sale, but I think the bigger factor contributing to more people revisiting The Witcher 3 is the fact that the Witcher Netflix series has come out. Look, the game's on sale, but the game's on sale all the time, so that's not anything special. The game is on sale during every Steam sale, and it's not like it's seeing a deeper discount this time than the times in the past. It's $15 for the complete edition. That's nothing out of the realm of what we've seen in the past. However, Netflix's The Witcher series has obviously come out, and this is getting promoted everywhere. I knew that the Witcher Netflix series was going to be big. I knew a lot of people were going to check it out. However, it is being promoted all over the front page of Netflix, and my friends that have no care for The Witcher as a franchise are all watching it, and a ton of people are just giving it a look just because whenever a new Netflix original comes out and it's got the production values of a Witcher, yeah, a lot of people are going to check it out. And I know that there have been some qualms about the Netflix series itself. I know that it's just covering the short stories from the book, so we haven't really gotten to the crux of the narrative yet. I know some people are complaining about some of the casting choices, but as far as Geralt goes, who is the driver of the story, and they needed to get him right, Henry Cavill does a fantastic job with him, and of course the production values in the show are absolutely staggering. I do think with Season 2, and if they make a Season 3 where they get into the core narrative of The Witcher, because again, while there is a story there with the first season, it's a lot of short stories. That is what they are adapting in the first season. I do think Season 2 could be a lot more compelling, and for the majority of people, it seems like Season 1 has been received really, really well. It's just that some people, again, a little bit off-put by some of the casting choices. Some people are off-put by the fact that it's just adapting the short stories right now, but I think overall, the Netflix series was really, really good, and it did a lot more things right than wrong, and you kind of see the overall interest for the Witcher IP is greater than ever, and it seems like a lot of people are showing it interest. Now the question remains, would CD Projekt Red look at this and make it a reason to go back into The Witcher and make a Witcher 4 or a new Witcher game? I think at some point we'll get that, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, given that they are working on Cyberpunk 2077, although they do have a mystery RPG in the works, but I don't think that's going to be a new Witcher game. But nonetheless, it's obvious that The Witcher as an IP still has a lot of fandom, and that fandom is only going to grow with this Netflix series. Alright, and lastly, I do want to note that FTL Advanced Edition Faster Than Light is free right now on the Epic Game Store. Faster Than Light is an awesome game. It's been a pretty notable game for a while now, and I imagine a lot of you guys have already picked it up. However, if you didn't, it is available free on the Epic Game Store. The Epic Game Store, while I haven't really been covering it over the last few weeks, been a little MIA, they've been offering some really good games, and it does seem like that this will be the last wave of free games. I imagine that Epic will do other things to get people enamored with their storefront, because that is what you do to get your store off the ground. I know it's been over a year, but if suddenly they start offering free games, and if they don't really do anything to, exemplify their store a little bit more, I do think that'll be a problem. But whatever the case may be, FTL is free right now. The game was received overwhelmingly positive, 96% positive reviews, and that's based on 38,000 reviews, 84 on Metacritic, really well-received game. And if you've yet to check it out, pretty interesting roguelike strategy sim title, just a really good game, and it is on sale for $249 over on Steam, but hey, free beats $249, so check that out on EGS. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, if you were thinking that RTX 2080 was not gonna be more powerful than the PS5, I don't really know what to say to you. I feel like that's gonna be a little bit obvious given the price of the 2080, and that's only the GPU, and a GPU being more expensive than the hypothetical console price itself. Okay, that is saying a lot, and if the PS5 was more powerful than the 2080, that'd be a little bit embarrassing, don't you think? The Witcher 3 is seeing a very big surge right now over on Steam. 70,000 people are playing it, and FTL is a freebie over on the Epic Game Store. That's gonna conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.